It felt full circle, and it kind of just reminded me that I love what I do because of the kids. You are adorable. Morning, sweet friend. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylene Call from Mrs. Call's Campers. If you're new here, I'm a kindergarten and first grade teacher in Northern California. Today is Monday. It is September 27th. It is also Cookie Butter Monday. I actually left on Friday being totally unplanned for this week, so I did plan over the weekend, but that also means that I couldn't prep anything. I mean, technically I could have. I have a printer, but I'm not going to do that. So this morning I do have to go ahead and get ready for the day, and I need to stuff my center folders and print a bunch of things. I did bring some more grapes, some 1-Up protein bars. You can use the code MAYLENE20 to save 20% off of your order every single time. I also brought some more of these little smoothies, and then I bought some candy for my kids because I needed to restock because one of my coupons for them is Sweet Tooth where they can get candy, and I've just been giving them Skittles, but I wanted to give them some more fun choices. And then I also went to Target and I got this beautiful basket, and I'm going to use this to hold my weekly read-alouds up at the front. I really wanted to do some kind of like shelf that went all the way across, but it's just not in my future right now. So I got a cute little basket from Target. I picked up some more smelly spots from Target, so I'm going to add those into my little collection. And I'm sure most all of you have heard of this, but smelly spots are just a little reward that I like to use in the classroom. And what you do is while they're working, or if they're doing a good job in line, or if they do a good job on their work, whatever you want to reward, if they're sitting quietly on the carpet, you can take a little bit of the chapstick and rub it on the back of their hand, and it's a little smelly spot that they can smell, and they love it. So I got some more of these. Also, I always get parent permission for these smelly spots because you don't just want to put something on your student's skin without making sure that it's okay by the parents, because some students have really sensitive skin. So always double check with your parents that it's okay. The other things I got at Target are just some boring school things. I needed to pick up some more folders. I got some more stickers as a reward for my kids. And then I got these little bags because they say you've been booed. And I want to do that school-wide you've been booed, like, I don't know what you call it, feel good thing. I did it last October if you watch my vlogs then, but you put like a little treat in the bag and then you like pass it around, and then another person gets it, and then the whole school gets like a little treat kind of thing. I don't know. I'll explain it when it's October. But I got one of these bags because it says you've been booed, and that's what it's called. And then I also picked up another book bin for one of my kids. I get my book bins that you see back here from Walmart. They're the ice cube trays, but Walmart has only had the teal color, so I just picked this up at Target because they had white. I need to take this little, we'll just flip it around, but it's literally just an ice cube bin. So one of my kids was actually just has his books like stacked up right now because I ran out of book bins. So yeah, I'll show you a comparison of the book bins. Honestly, they don't look that different. I think the Target ones look pretty good, but it's just a matter of where you can find them, you know? We're also starting a new read aloud this week, and we're actually going to start it tomorrow because we have counseling on Monday. So I let that take our group read aloud time. So I'm going to pull that book if I can find it. The rest of the things that I have to do is just going to be printing, so I'll see you after school. And it's after school on Monday. It is almost 3 o'clock, and to be honest, I've just been sitting here, but I had a really good day today. We as a whole class had a really good day today. Mondays are always my favorite, and I tell them every time, Monday is my favorite. It's a fresh start. I missed you over the weekend. Everything just feels calm and new and fresh, and I love it. I love Mondays. Also, first thing this morning, I had a sweet student bring me a little sunflower, and if you guys watched my vlogs last year, or you've been following me since last year especially, I, at the very end of the school year in May, got a letter from my last school saying that I was not rehired for the new school year. And that very same day, I had a student give me a sunflower. So to me, it was just a really good reminder of why I was there. And it wasn't to, be part of all the negativity or, all of the hard parts that come with teaching. I was there for the kids, and getting this sunflower today kind of just, I don't know, it felt full circle, and it kind of just reminded me that I love what I do because of the kids, and everything else is just a bonus. And it's just nice to be at a school where I actually can come on here and be happy and be honest with you guys and not have to hide how I'm feeling about things, kind of like I had to do last year because I didn't want to get fired. Sometimes in my vlogs, I like to mix in lifestyle, but I think this week we are going to just stick with a teaching vlog. I will go ahead and show you guys my PowerPoint for the week because I think it is helpful, and it does change week to week. This is what my kids see when they first come in. I have 4 groups: Fiddle Leaf, Willow, Sycamore, and Sequoia, and these are just groups of students that are based on, honestly, mostly behavior. So they're mixed between kindergarten and first grade because I teach a combo class. And these are also their center groups. And it's so funny because we've been in school for so long now, but I still have kids forgetting what group they're in every single day. And I've never had a group like this before where they couldn't remember they're the Sycamores or they're the Sequoias. So I'm a little bit thrown off by that. Here is my little morning message and our morning discussion. We do always start out, before we read the message and everything, we do start out with a good morning song and then our Secret Stories Better alphabet song. Like I said, today we went to counseling, but tomorrow we will do our group read aloud and we will do the cool bean. So here are the I can statements for that. So after counseling, we came back in and we did literacy. I do color code my class. So pink is first grade and green is kindergarten. So we are in first grade time right here. And those little bars on the side are just because my projector projects bigger than my whiteboard. My whiteboard is small, so I kind of have to shrink my slides a little bit. These are our sight words this week for first grade, so we went over them. And then we also mapped our sight words. I got questions when I showed this in my last vlog. This isn't anything that I bought. I literally just made it in PowerPoint, and it's kind of specific. I can put something that you might be able to use in our shared Google Drive, and I'll just put the different options for the boxes, and I'll put the lines there for you in case that's something that you want to do. But we mapped our sight words today, and I did teach them a new secret today. I love teaching them the secrets. They're so helpful. So today we learned that O-W and O-U make the sound ow, because when they get together they're really rough and they play really rough, and then they always get hurt, so they say ow. So on our sight word paper we tap the sounds d, ow, n, and then we talked about it, and I put a little band-aid there just so they would remember the ow sound. And it actually worked out that we had both of the spellings in our sight words this week. What I really wanted to do was put a band-aid on all of them and write ow. I might do that tomorrow because we're still going to practice our sight words, but I think that would just make it a little bit more fun, and it's a nice little reminder. But they love our secrets. I have my posters up on this wall right here. You can actually see ow right there. I think I'm pointing to it in the video. I can't tell. So those were our sight words, and we always map them on Monday. If you're curious as to why I'm mapping my sight words, it's a lot more effective to go through each individual sound, and I've learned this from being a part of various Science of Reading Facebook groups and doing a bunch of research on it. I'm not trained. I would love to be trained. I know it's a big process. I am not. I'm just doing the best I can, but just memorizing words for what they are is not very helpful. So giving them the ability to learn the sounds and actually be able to spell the words is way more helpful, and it takes way less repetitions for them to get a word versus just looking at it by sight. And then I pulled this from our Wonders curriculum, so it has a sentence for each of the sight words. And then we moved into our shared reading, and again, I pulled this from the Wonders curriculum. This is what the book actually looks like, but what I did was I just pulled the bottom part, the sentences out, and we just did the sentences first. So we practiced these, and this is the entire book right here, but I wanted to do it without the pictures first because I wanted it to be totally just sounding out the words. And then we actually went into our shared reading, and our comprehension goal was thinking about what we're reading, and I asked them questions about what they were reading. And then it was time for kindergarten. So for kindergarten, we did a mystery letter, and the letter was F. I'm not going to go into how I introduced the mystery letter because I already did that in, I think, vlog number 3 or vlog number 4. You can go back and watch that to see how I introduced the mystery letter for my kids. We did handwriting, and then we did a little sound sort, and then a go noodle. And then it was time for our centers. Centers went really, really well today. we always pause our centers before we go to lunch. So I added in this slide that says close and seal because when we pause our centers, we don't need to clean every single thing up because we're coming right back. Our centers are there's just a break in there for lunch. So just close things that need to be closed and line up for lunch. I also want to show you, you guys know I use my Smart Cookies jar for centers. This thing right here, which they did earn one. And if you saw in the vlog, the woman who makes them, I have a link in my description box. You can save 15%. She actually sent me another one. So I'm using this one for every time that we line up quietly because my kids, when they line up, they are talking mess and there's usually it's just a lot. So I was like, you know what? This will be perfect. This will be our lineup jar. And it's right here where they line up. So they'll just see it hopefully every time that they line up. And if they line up quietly, they'll get a star. And I don't know what the reward is going to be, but it's going to take us a minute to fill up the jar. So I'm not too worried about it. And I love those little jars. They're super cute and I think it's a really good visual. So after lunch and recess, they come back, they finish their centers. This is my cleanup slide, tells them exactly what to do. It has a timer, it also has music. Then we move into math and I have kindergarten up first. That's why it is green. And you can see in the bottom corner, I always put the times and that's just for me. I need to hang up my schedule cards. My aide actually my aide actually laminated them and cut them for me this weekend, which was really nice. So I'm gonna hang them up probably tomorrow morning. And we practiced counting on for kindergarten. So I just did a little animation for each one. And then we practiced counting back. And whenever we count back, we always put our hands like this behind us to show that we're counting back. So we did 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And then we did this little lesson from Tara West. I really like these interactive lessons that she has because they're engaging for the kids and it gives you everything you need for your standard. So these are really great. And it was math for first grade. For our warm up, we're doing doubles. So I went through and we said all of the doubles up to 10. And then I called on random students and I had them tell me I said, what's 7 plus 7? They would tell me the answer and I left all the numbers up. And then on the next slide, I just added shapes to cover the answers and I had them come up and write the answers. I really want them to be super fluent with their doubles facts and I think that'll help them a lot with their addition anyway. So I did that and then we moved into our lesson and I just did their workbooks. So not very interesting there. So this is what the slide said. I can find the missing part in a number sentence. I can count on or draw to find my answer. And then for their oh yeah, which is kind of like my little exit tickets. After that, we did free choice and our day at this point is pretty much done. Here is my cleanup slide for that. And then I have first grade pack up first. This is everything that they need to pack up. And I do the Secret Stories Better alphabet song again with my kindergartners. So that is our whole day in a nutshell. That being said, I am going to go home. It is 3:07, so made quick time out of that. I'm going to work out with John. Not gonna be vlogging it, but if you're following me on Instagram, you get to keep up with all the fun even on days when I don't vlog. So if that kind of content is content that you like to see, make sure you're following me on Instagram and I will see you in the morning. Good morning, it's Tuesday. I have a really good feeling about today. The past few Tuesdays have not been wonderful, but I have a really good feeling about today. Also, I'm very excited because it's finally chilly enough in California to wear a sweatshirt. And you're probably like, Maylene, that is nothing to be excited about. But you're not my people. My people understand. Sweatshirts are like the most comfiest thing ever. Also, this one you can get in my Etsy shop. Speaking of, I have a ton of really cute designs that I actually wanted to launch in September, but I haven't had time to. So stay tuned for those. It's actually 7:20 this morning. I decided I was gonna sleep in. I made an iced latte this morning. I've got some sweet cream cold foam on there that I made this morning. And for lunch today, I brought some pasta that I made last night. If you're following me on Instagram, you saw that. But I'm going to get ready for my day, eat some Moondrop grapes, and oh, that's it. It's after school on Tuesday. Oh my goodness. Tuesdays are hard. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't know why Tuesdays are always such a struggle. It was such a struggle today, y'all. Okay, so we read The Cool Bean. So at this point, we have already read The Good Egg, of course. And what I did was I held up the book. Good readers always look at the front cover, think about the story before they start. And I said, does this book remind you of a book that we've read before? And they said, The Good Egg. And I said, why do you think that is? Because it was written by the same author. So they were really excited about that. And there are a lot of parallels between Jory John. Yep, Jory John's books. So like in The Good Egg, part of the story goes, because I was a good egg, a very good egg. The cool bean. Here come the cool beans, the cool beans. So there's a lot of parallels, and I tend to read books by the same author in the same kind of tone and rhythm just to help them make that connection. But we read the cool bean and we did our little retelling chart. So I tried something totally new today, and I completely did all of the gluing on the anchor chart today. And what I did was I took one of these big post-it notes and I put it on each of the pictures. That way, whenever it was time to talk about the characters or the setting or each part of the story, all I had to do was take this off, and it was way faster than me gluing on the pieces. Is this a revolutionary technique? No, but I wasn't doing it before, and I should have done it because this is something we do every week, and it will make my life so much easier. So we talked about the characters, the setting, the beginning, middle, and end of our story. So we do one read aloud each week, and on day one of the read alouds, we always practice just retelling the story. And I had so many students today come up and retell the story by themselves or with my help, and I always make a really big deal out of when students come up to the front and they help with the board or they help retell a story, and I tell them how proud I am for being brave to come up there, and we have discussions around how we treat our friends. And anytime I pick someone, I get into the habit of saying, good job, so-and-so. So if I randomly pick John to come up to the front, instead of all the other students saying, oh, I want to go, or pick me, we say, good for John. Like, we're excited for John to come up and do it. And I think that's made a really big difference just in the community part of our classroom, because I want them to be happy for their friends. And even if we come up here and we make a mistake, the whole point is to learn. We do not have to be perfect. So today for centers was a struggle. There were a couple of things that I understood. The tablets, I understand that the procedures that they did today, which is Seesaw and then Teacher Monster, that was new. So I expected there to be a struggle then, but it was also hard because the Wi-Fi wasn't working. And then like on one of my tablets, for some reason the apps weren't showing up, and so I had to like restart it. There was just a whole mess around that, but I understood that because that part was new. I just introduced Seesaw to my class yesterday and taught them how to do it, and I really should just be thinking about how successful they are at using Seesaw instead of what a mess it was just to use the tablets and centers. They did the Seesaw assignment they had for today. They knew how to get there. They knew how to do it. They knew how to submit it. That is a success, but it just still felt like chaos. And then friends who were in word work and in actually writing did pretty good. The only problem I had, I think, with my friends in writing is they spread out in such an awkward way. Like, there is more than enough room over here for them, but they I don't know, it just was like messy. But then like library was playing, and I let them do the scoop rockers this week for the very first time. I have these scoop rockers in library, and of course the first time they get the scoop rockers, what do they want to do? Lean all the way back and fall down, and then pick it up, and then lean all the way back and fall down. And so a lot of my kindergartners were doing that today in library, and it was just driving me absolutely bonkers. And I feel like everything was just so loud and so crazy. And then after centers, we had lunch, and we had to clean up early from centers because I had a short little meeting today. So I got sub coverage for about 30 or so minutes. So everything just felt off and weird and stressful. So while the sub was in here, I just let them do free choice, because in my brain I was thinking that'll be easy for a sub. I'll just put free choice after lunch, and then I'll just have them clean up and do math. But when they were doing free choice and I came back into the classroom, I said, you know what? We're just gonna let them play. And I think today, for my sanity, that was the best thing, because while they were playing, I was able to pull so many students to my back table, and at the same time my aide was able to pull so many students to her back table, and I'm like, you know what? That's what we needed to do today. That's what we needed to do. So my kids played today for probably an hour and a half, and we pulled, I think, like the whole class to do either a small group or one-on-one. And you know what? I'm glad I did that. Really glad. And I'm sure they had fun too. And it's always really nice when you give them a longer time to play, because right now our playtimes are about 20 to 30 minutes at the most, but they are getting so creative with the things that they're doing. Whenever they do free choice, everything in my room is fair game, because I tell them this is their classroom. We share this classroom. You want the clipboards? Get the clipboards. You want the stem ends? Get the stem ends. You want post-it notes? Get the post-it notes. Like, it's your classroom too. And I had so many students today playing teacher, and they were practicing writing each other's names, and they're working on so many social skills. And I'm like, you know what? I love this. This is great. This is wonderful. So never underestimate the power of play, because even though they're playing, they're learning so much. And so many of those skills, I feel like, especially my first graders last year, missed out on. So it's nice to just give them that opportunity and that chance to do those things this year. So that was that. I also previously had talked to my first graders about book club. This is something that I started doing last year when I taught kindergarten, because I discovered Primary Scouts retelling crafts. So all of those read alouds that we do every single week. But I had the genius idea to take basically all the pictures that we use for our anchor charts and obviously laminate them and turn it into a pocket center for library. So all of those little pieces that I normally print for our anchor charts for when we retell the story, I just print double, laminate, cut, and then in library my kids can come and basically recreate the whole anchor chart and retell the whole story using the picture cards. And it's also great because the anchor charts are in the library. So if they're not sure where one goes, or they're not sure about the story, they can just look up there and it's right there. So super easy, super simple. And I know especially my kindergartners last year loved doing book club. I had my whole class over here today, and I showed them exactly how to do it, showed them the expectation. I'm also putting all of our book club books in a basket by the book club. So far we have The Good Egg, The Very Last Leaf, Giraffes Can't Dance, and we're gonna add the Cool Bean. They'll all be in here just with some baggies. And again, the resource that I'm using for this is by Primary Scouts. It's her retelling crafts. And I feel like it's the heart of our classroom, honestly. And I wish I was getting paid to say that, because I plug her in like every vlog, but she is so good. I love her so much. And she honestly makes my job way easier. The kids love it. It's super engaging for them. So love it. Big fan. Also, something I've talked about before that I'm very passionate about is my read aloud books, because anytime you read a book to your class, they have a connection with it and they know the story. Sometimes when they have all of these books to choose from, they're not really as interested, but after you've read a story with them and you've brought that story to life, they're interested in that story. So something that I always do whenever I'm done with a read aloud book that we do together as a class, with the exception of the What Should Danny Do books, that's the only one that I don't, I always put it in my library, or I keep it at the front of the classroom and they have access to that book. And it has been so nice, especially I've noticed with Good Egg, those read alouds that we spend 3-4 days reading and reading the story over and over again, they know those stories in their head. And I have kindergartners who sit back here and read The Good Egg. Like, they know each page, they know all the parts. So it's always really nice to see the kindergartners, the first graders engaging with the book and just getting actual enjoyment from it. And they sit there and they'll read it to their friends. They'll put our little book buddies out in a line and they'll pretend that they're the teacher. All things that you want to see happen in library happen. And I feel like a big part of that is our read aloud structure. A big one for today. Big win. My friend kept his hands to himself all day. There was one point where he was walking, and sometimes when he's walking, he'll walk really close to other students and like kind of shoulder bump them. But I'm not gonna count that because this was a big win for us, and I feel like I'm honestly a little bit surprised at how quickly he met this goal, because I thought this was going to be an all-year struggle, keeping his hands to himself. But like I told his mom when she picked him up today, because I bumped you. Like I told his mom when she picked him up today, it's a team effort, because she's telling me, like, I'm having conversations with him at night and in the morning, and I'm sure there's some kind of bribery going on. I bribe him too. If he gets a perfect day, he gets a reward. He gets candy. But the fact that he can do it is great. It's wonderful. And so I think I'm going to move on to another goal. We, of course, are going to do constant reminders. Keep your hands to yourself. But now I feel like he understands that is the expectation. So we're going to move on to a different goal. And I think our new goal is I'm going to give him a timer. And I think maybe 5 minutes. And whatever we're doing, I'm going to ask him to stay sitting for 5 minutes, because I felt so stressed yesterday and earlier today because this student is one that constantly needs to be moving, but I feel like it's been worse lately. Like in the beginning, at the beginning of the year, he would sit with us on the carpet the whole time, and now he's just bouncing. He'll go from the carpet to a stem bin, to Play-Doh, to a tablet, to a different stem bin, to carpet, wanting to do a different activity. Just constant, every 3 minutes, like not even 5-minute periods. Every 3 minutes, it's something different, and that's really taking a toll on my mental health. So that's gonna be our goal, and I'm gonna start with a 5-minute timer. And just let him know when the timer's up, he can either do Play-Doh or a stem bin or a tablet, and kind of work it in 5-minute increments and have that timer to guide him. And hopefully we can get a pretty good day for that tomorrow. We'll see. I think I already talked about it, but I'm still having my students, my first grade students, use sound boxes for their sight words. And I'm really liking this. And you can see the little symbol for the secrets that we know. Having these secrets up on my wall has helped so much. And if you guys watched my vlog last year when I taught kindergarten, or even if you saw my classroom setup video, I had, they were like word family posters at the back of my wall. So think like op, un, just all the word families. For the word family un, for example, there was a picture of a sun, and then there was a list of words that had un. We did not use that at all. We did not use that at all last year. It was basically just sitting on my wall. These are so helpful, and they remember the stories. It is the coolest thing. And they're so quick about learning them too. I'll show you the ones that we've learned so far. I feel like I could give them like 3 a day and they would remember them, because they come with such good stories that relate to the kids. So I keep our vowels up here above our normal alphabet, with the exception of E, by accident. E is over here. It's not supposed to be, but it's okay. Learned AY and EY. We've learned TH. I've taught 2 students AU and AW, not the whole class, because the whole class didn't need it, just a couple of students needed it. We've learned SH, we've learned OO, we've learned ER, IR, and UR, we've learned OW and OU, and all up here that we've learned so far. I think I'm gonna do WH tomorrow, because it's in one of their old sight words, so I think I'm going to do that one tomorrow. But they have been really helpful, and I think something that I was afraid of in the beginning was not knowing what a secret was. But even for me, if I take 2 seconds and open the book and look at the story and then tell it to the kids, it's in my brain too. Like, once you learn it, the secret is in your brain. And my kids have not complained one time about me having to open up the Secret Stories book and look up a secret. So like if they see it on the wall or they recognize the letters, I'll open up the book and tell the secret to them. So I'm really enjoying it. If you have any hesitations about it, I feel like if you have it in your room and you try it, you're gonna realize how useful it is. And it's also not something that you need to have at the start of the year for it to be effective, because like I said, we've learned, I don't know, like 6, 7 secrets. We do the Better Alphabet song every single day. We talk about the superhero vowels every single day, why I can say E or I or E or I or E every single day, but we learn them as we go. So it's not something that if you got even midway through the year and started implementing it, that wouldn't be a bad thing, and you wouldn't be behind, I guess, because you can just introduce them as they come up. So I'm going to keep you updated as we go, how I'm using them, how I'm liking them, but I am so impressed so far. Also, if you use them in your classroom, leave me a comment down below and let me know how it's going. Let me know your favorite activities to do with the secrets, because there's all sorts of things you can do, and I know Katie has a bunch of resources on her website and in her TPT, so I need to take a look at that and see if there's anything else I want to implement, maybe in our writing center. I'm not really sure, but John and I are going to the pumpkin farm today, so I am going to, as much as I don't want to, I'm gonna put up my schedule cards and then I'm gonna leave. So I started it a little high because I was like, oh, I'll take it all the way to the top. But this is just tall enough to where I'm like, it would fit if I squished it. Feels good to finally have our schedule up. There's like 2 tiny time changes I need to make on there. But other than that, it's fine. I love that it has the little pictures to go along with it. And now I'm just gonna straighten up and then go home. Got to school later than usual this morning. It's about 7:20 and I honestly don't have that much to do. I do want to show you something that I got. Oh, actually I have something else to share with you too. Hold on. I got a package yesterday from my wish list and it came with this note and it mentioned a book and I was like, maybe there's something else coming with it. And so last night I got the rest of the package. So this is from Sydney. She said, enjoy your gift. I'm currently in school for my associates in early childhood and planning to teach kinders. You absolutely inspire me. I hope you and your kiddos love new books, from Sydney White. And she put a cute little pumpkin emoji in there too. Thank you so much, Sydney. She sent the good, the bad, and the spooky, which is a Jory, John, and P. Oswald book, and my kids are very familiar with this author right now, or this team, this duo, and so I know they're going to be super excited. And this book actually comes with all these cute little stickers, so I think if we do like a little, I don't know, writing, I'll let them decorate with some of these stickers. She also sent these stickers, and these I put on my wish list just for my kinders to like make letters, so just doing stickers and making the letters. And then she also sent us some spinners, and these are going to be for math that you can put on top of paper. You could also use like a paper clip and a pencil. That's never worked out really well for my kids, so I just wanted spinners, and this is going to be way easier. So thank you so much, Sydney. And something I bought are these because I wanted something to give my first graders to help with their fluency, and I was looking and looking and digging and I found these, and I haven't heard anybody talk about them before, but they are called learning wrap-ups. And there's all these different keys. Let's say if you're doing this one, this side is the first part of your number sentence, and then here's like the middle, so it would be 3 plus 1 equals, and then the answer would be 4. So you take it and you start at the 3 and you go 3 plus 1 equals 4, and then you do the next one. So 6 plus 1 equals 7, so you go down here, and then 10 plus 1 equals 11, so you'd match the 10 to the 11. So once they've wrapped the entire key, it's actually self-checking. So you just tuck it in to the bottom right here, and you can flip it over. And I don't know if you can really see. You can't really tell because it's 100% perfect, but they have these little guides on here. So if you mess one up, it's self-checking. So if I did 7 plus 1 equals 9, and then 9 plus 1 equals 10, and 8 plus 1 equals 9. So if I tried to do that, you can see the string does not perfectly, can you see? the string doesn't perfectly line up right here, so I would need to go back and check my answer. So I thought these were super cute. I just got 2 of them to start. I think they're really gonna like them. We'll see how they go today. I'm gonna roll it out today, but the green one goes all the way up to 10. So this is perfect for first grade. So if you are a first grade teacher and you are looking for something for fluency, these are learning wrap-ups, and I will link them in my Amazon store for you. I think they also have multiplication for the higher grades. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Thought it was a cool little find. Also this morning, if you are a coffee drinker, my favorite coffee from Starbucks ever was toffee nut and cinnamon dolce. That was like my fall drink. I would always get a toffee nut and cinnamon dolce latte, but sadly, cinnamon dolce is no longer an option at Starbucks. Yeah. Which is okay, because I don't go to Starbucks anymore, but I wanted to buy the syrup, you know? Like, I wanted to just buy the syrup to have it, because there's nothing comparable. So what I made, and I made this a couple times now, is toffee nut syrup from Torani, and then I have s'mores syrup in here, and then I sprinkle cinnamon on top. If you follow my Instagram, anytime I'm drinking a coffee drink with cinnamon on top, that's what it is. It's toffee nut and s'mores and a sprinkle of cinnamon on top, and it's really good. Like, it reminds me of cinnamon dolce. Yeah, so really good option. So if you're someone who liked the cinnamon dolce and you also like toffee nut, maybe you should give this drink a try. Also on Wednesdays, my school wears spirit shirts every Wednesday, so this is one of our school shirts. And I have it over this dress. And what I did today, because I normally will tie my shirts over my dress, but this specific shirt is just, like, it's short and there's not enough fabric, so I just had to take like a hair tie and tuck it, and that works too. Also, sad, I have morning duty today, and it is actually chilly, which is good for me because I am totally here for the sweaters and the cardigans, but when you have to stand out there for morning duty, it is not as fun. It is after school. It's been a good day. The funny thing is, whenever I turn the camera on, the first thing that comes to my mind, you know that TikTok trend where they sing the song, "It's been a long day," but they scream it, so they're like, "It's been a long day." That's my first instinct whenever I turn the camera on, but today was a good day. It did feel like a long day. Yeah, I think I just had a really good time with my kids today, and I just wish every day felt like this. I wish it did. It felt so nice, and we did everything that I wanted to do, and they were just on their best behavior. They were so kind to each other. It was just wonderful. Started out morning meeting, and we played, I'm sure you've seen this before, but it is the Guess the Picture YouTube channel, and so they have a bunch of videos. They quite literally have to guess a picture, so it's zoomed in. Here's picture 1. So they make their guesses, and then it slowly zooms out, and you can see it's a cucumber. And then they had to do, the next one was this one, and it was a little taxi cab. And then this one was a cat. And then this one was pizza, but I was actually surprised. Some of them were getting it before I was figuring out what it was, but it was really fun. So they enjoyed that for morning meeting. I just wanted something simple and fast today, and it was great. So I think we might do another one tomorrow because they had such a fun time with it. I'm not sure how many videos this channel has. Oh wow, they have a bunch. Okay, that is good to know. Then we did our read aloud, which was the cool bean. And I actually have it hanging up in the library because some of my kids today wanted to do our book club, and I put the cool bean in here, and I felt so bad because they had the picture cards and they were like, "Miss Call, where's the cool bean?" And I was like, "It's right here, like this is the story." And they were like, "No, where's the cool bean?" And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I realized they wanted the anchor chart because I still had the anchor chart up on my little easel, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't understand what you meant." So I put it up there, and they did a couple of different book clubs, and that was just really exciting. And I always love seeing them reading these books because they know the story. I think I explained all this yesterday. That was good. So for our read aloud today, we did focus on problem and solution, and I do have this little poster. I'm gonna put them in my shared Google Drive that I made for you guys, so you can trace them if you want them. I just haven't yet, but I always talk about these anchor charts. I'm trying to like show you. Maybe, you know, I'll just insert a picture. I'll shine my little laser pointer up there whenever I'm talking about it, and I have them echo me. So I say characters have problems. They say characters have problems. And I say characters change. Characters change. So we know every single time we read, we know that a character is going to have a problem, and we know there's going to be some kind of change in the story. We focused on that this morning. And then we also did a kind of shared writing to write a sentence for the beginning, middle, and end. So we did, in the beginning, he does not feel cool. In the middle, the cool beans helped him. In the end, he learned helping is cool. Learned is spelled incorrectly because this entire thing is spelled phonetically. So every single word up here, except for learned, we spelled phonetically, and it was really cool because my first graders could pull in some of those secrets. And so I was kind of going back and forth between kindergarten and first grade. So if I had them segment the sounds in the word him, I would do that with my kindergartners, and we would say him, and I would have them tell me the first sound or maybe even the last sound. And then with my first graders, with words like cool, we pulled in our secrets. And then for helped and helping, we spelled help. And then I have my little endings card, and this is in my Rhyme Magic kit. I'll show you that really quickly. I'm not going to talk to you about it. Honestly, this is the year. This will be the year I make a video and talk to you about Rhyme Magic because I flippin' love it. It's the best thing ever. This is my Rhyme Magic kit. There is a ton of stuff that comes in here, and one of the things that comes in here is a card with endings, and I work on this daily with my first graders. So we say the word help, we spelled help, and then I went through and we picked the correct ending. So helps, helped, helping, helper, helpest, helpy, helpful. They found the right one, and then we spelled it up there. That went so well. And that was the first time that we've did a shared writing for our anchor chart for the retelling, because I just wanted to slowly add in the different components. I didn't want to overwhelm them all at once. And now that we're getting through things a little bit quicker, I can do more advanced things with them. So that was a big win, and I'm very, very proud of them. And they were all into it. They were all helping me, and I really loved being able to bounce between kindergarten and first grade, asking questions, asking how to spell things. It was just great. I do want to say, if you like those retelling kits that I do every single week, and you do just teach first grade, something I would do if I just taught first grade, I would still use these kits, but I would maybe just have them have one of the response sheets that she includes in there for beginning, middle, and end, or first, next, last, and have them write it on their own as we talk through it. So there's definitely ways that you can differentiate it just for first grade, but the combo is great. So what else did we do? After a read aloud, we did snack. After snack, oh, I just love that my schedule is right there. It's so helpful. After snack, we did literacy. Literacy went well. I did the letter P with my kindergartners, and they're doing such a great job. I also want to say, doing the timer today with my one who yesterday was just all over the place. He had to do something different like every 3 minutes, and it was a struggle. And timers are really, really effective with certain students, and he, I think, is a student who it's going to work really well with. And the reason I did not bring it out sooner is because I did not want to overwhelm him. I didn't want to say you have to do this, and this all in one day. I cannot go 0 to 100 with this student. So today we worked on timers. So I set a timer, and it was between like 5 and 7 minutes, depending on what the activity was. And I let him know when the timer goes off, then he can make a choice and do Play-Doh, or he can do STEM Mins. And he did a really good job all day, and he was able to transfer the skills that we have been working on, keeping our hands to ourselves. He was able to transfer that into his day today. So really, it was just a wonderful day, and I'm just like, oh, I feel so successful. It's just a really good feeling to have. Literacy with kindergartners is letters, and literacy with first graders was writing today. So we worked on writing. Came back, and actually I have a funny story about lunch. So I showed you these keys this morning, right? Was so excited about them. And then I brought one to lunch, and I just wanted to show them in case they've never heard of them before. Let me go get it. So this is the one that I bought off of Amazon. So it has the numbers here and then +1 and then whatever. I brought this in there and I was like, have you guys ever heard of these? And their response was, yeah. Like, it was totally not what I was expecting. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, they're just really hard for the kids and they're hard to use, and the string and the... And I was like, oh, great. But they were really sweet. They were like, no, not to discourage you. Good luck. I hope it works out. And I was like, oh, man, maybe it's not going to be as easy as I thought. But I did it today. That's what we did for math in first grade, was we talked about how to use these. And there was definitely a learning curve, not going to lie. Here's the bright side. I'm glad I shared it with them, even though they already knew about it, because they have a bunch of them. And so I passed them out. And I was like, okay, let's be on this. And they were all like, mine's different. So these ones that the teacher let me borrow are a little bit different. I actually like these better in a way. The first one I'm taught, these are from Saxon. I guess it came with like a math curriculum. The one on the top is just straight up counting. So they just go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they just count, which is nice because you can differentiate it. So they have counting, and then they have doubles, +1, -1, +2, -2. So it goes all the way through. So I actually like these better than the ones I bought, but if you don't have the Saxon ones, these are a good option. So anyways, I was like, oh, okay, hold on, let me get your key. So I did it with them, and I showed them how to hold it. And the way I taught them is, at first I was saying just hold the keys, but then I realized it was helpful if I had them hold between the key like this so it couldn't move at all. So hold between. And then the other struggle that they had was they would hold the string down here. So when they tried to wrap it, it just was loose. So I had to teach them to hold the string at the top of the string and pull it tight and slide their finger down. And after they figured that out, it was great. It took me a second to realize what they needed help with, but I feel like if I was introducing this again, like to another set of kids, it would go a lot smoother. But it took them like 6 or 7 minutes to get it, I think. And then it was just fun. And then I taught them to check it in the back, and I feel like they were successful. And I'm really glad that the first grade teachers told me it was a little bit hard for their kids, because I went into it with how do I say this? I was very intentional with my instructions. So we did this, and I was thinking it would be cool if for my kindergartners I had maybe like some kind of board with holes here and like holes here, or like a smaller board with holes here and holes here, and had like shoelaces, and kindergartners could do like a bigger version of it, and it would have a self-check on the back. I feel like that'd be a really fun little project that I could make for them, but I would want it to be something that was pretty durable. I think that'd be good for my kindergartners, because I know that would be fun too. And the reason I like these is because it's good practice, helps you with fluency, and it's really good fine motor. So that was my experience with those. Anyways, math was the last part of our day. With kindergarten, we are working on comparing numbers 6 through 10, and we talked about a 10 frame today, and they loved it. We talked about different ways to make different numbers and a lot of number talk type things. So like 6 can look like 3 on top and 3 on the bottom, or it could look like 2, 2, and 2, and just kind of, let me just show you. So I had a 10 frame and counters, and we did a little bit of that little PowerPoint lesson that I talked to you about. Would put out some counters in the 10 frame. Oh, the reason I brought out the 10 frame is because part of the activity in the PowerPoint was counting in a 10 frame. So we talked about how a 10 frame holds 10, but then I would put out a number like 6. We would count it 1 to 1, and then we would clap it. So we'd clap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I would move them. And I would say, is it still 6? Yes. What about like this? Is it still 6? Yes. And I would ask them how they saw it. So kind of like a number talk. And this was our whole lesson. We just did it with different numbers. But one of my goals this year in math was to make sure my lessons were super short. So for kindergarten math, I have about a 25-minute block. No, a 20-minute block, so that's perfect. So we did a 10-minute little PowerPoint game, and then we did 10 minutes hands-on and manipulatives, and that was great. And then after math was free choice, and while they were doing free choice, I put a bunch of things in their B binder, just a bunch of different practice pages and information that was going home, and my aide helped me because I had a million things to put in there, but I had such a good day. And also it's so funny because now their favorite thing to do for free choice is to play teacher, and it is so funny to just listen to them play teacher. And one of my students, who is a very good student in class, she was pretending to be like a naughty student to the teacher, and she was like, no, and I turned around to the little girl who was pretending to be the teacher, and I was like, what are you gonna do if she tells you no? And she said, I honestly have no idea, and I just died laughing. I was like, yeah, okay. She said, I have no clue. Okay, I have just been uploading pictures of student work into their dojo portfolios, and I'm gonna head home. I said I was gonna go home and I did not. It is an hour later. I need to go home, but I reorganized a bunch of things. So I was just really hating how I had my Writing Superstar poster over here in my writing publishing drawers over here, because it just felt so out of place. But it's hard because when you're in a new room, and if you're a first year teacher, you probably are relating to this too, but just being in a new space, it's hard to figure out exactly what you want and what you need and what's going to work for your kids and for you. I feel like now I'm in a good place. I feel like everything is good now. There's a good flow. So this is our word work center. And I've already said this, but top shelf is first grade, bottom shelf is kindergarten, and then I keep math things over here. I totally reorganized this space. You haven't seen too much of it, but there's a couple of math choices in these bins, and then these are what we did today. They love this little number puzzle. These are task cards that we're going to start maybe this week, maybe next week. And then down here, we haven't used these yet, but they are shapes. 2D shapes, and then more math options, and then puzzles are over here too. So I moved the writing publishing drawers, which you'll see them in just a sec. I moved them over here by writing. I just really didn't have a space for them before, so I made space. I put our Writing Superstar poster right over here. So this is what it looks like now. Just a whole wall of writing. And I reorganized the actual writing center right here just a little bit. So I have kinder on this side, first grade on that side. Middle can be either or. But for kinders, I'm going to add just letter tracing in these dry erase sleeves. And then this is where the directed draws usually go. And then they have Play-Doh in here, and these are from the Tara West curriculum. I've just been adding in the letters as we do them. And then they can put like a little dough ball on the letter and smash it. And then in the middle for both, we have the twist and write, which I've talked about in other vlogs. And then this is just like letter writing. They really like writing little notes and things to each other. So love that. And then first grade, I updated their sentences. So I put in new ones for all of these markers. I'm gonna print new directed drawings for kinder and first grade. And then this is story writing, which my first graders haven't really liked doing as much. That's okay for right now. I get that they don't have that confidence yet. And then publishing drawers are here, which we have not used them yet. Here's the other big thing I did. In Seesaw, their assignments are color coded. So first grade work is pink, higher first grade work is yellow, and then green is kindergarten work. So when they go into Seesaw, they click that color folder. Green for kinder, pink for first grade, or yellow for some of my more advanced students. I decided it would be so much easier if I used that same color system for centers. So back in my word work center, like I said, kinders get the bottom shelf. All of their little task card type games are in green. Down here, green. And then for first grade, they like these mix and fix it sentences. My yellow students are able to do these. These are the like normal sentences from Just a Primary Girl. But I do have the pre-primer sentences. I talked about this, I think, 2 vlogs ago. So if you're confused, you can go back 2 vlogs. But it's basically little picture cards. So these all go to set 1. They find a set, and then they make a sentence. So the sentence would be, can you help me? The third one has a 3 on it, right there, so that it is a little bit more differentiated. So they know capital letter always first. They know punctuation at the end, and then the number 3 is given to them. So my normal first graders can pull this, and then yellow is more of a challenge. And I brought these out for the first time today. I forgot to mention it. We did do writing in first grade today, and I gave them this paper, and they immediately go, I know what this is, because it's part of our Writing Superstar song. Got the same symbols on there, and I just loved that immediately they recognized it. So that's what I did, and now I'm going home. See you tomorrow. It's tomorrow. It's actually after school tomorrow. So today is Thursday. Today was a long day. I feel like I need to stop saying that, because at this point everything is just exhausting, but pretty good day overall. I did actually have something really cool that I wanted to show you. So there are lots of smells this year in my room. Lots of smells. I've never had a wax warmer in the room because I don't want to ever forget to turn it off. I did clear with my parents that scents are okay in the room. I cleared that at the beginning of the year, and this is the first day that I've used it. I'll link it for you in my Amazon shop, but the reason I picked this one is because well, actually there's a couple of reasons. Number 1, the power button is on the actual units instead of being like on the cord, you know. Number 2, the top of it is silicone, so I can like lift it and show you, so you can press the wax out whenever it's done. So that's a lot easier. And number 3, it has a timer on it, and it actually works. It turned itself off today, so 3, 6, and 9 hours. So I'll turn it on just so you can see. But yeah, my room finally smells good. So if you also were afraid to get a wax warmer because you didn't want to burn down your school, they have ones with self-timers, so that is nice. We did our Cool Bean craft and retell. This one's kind of cute. They have to glue the pictures on the sunglasses, so I let them color for the sunglasses. They came out super cute. And then tomorrow they are going to be writing if they are in first grade and drawing if they are in second grade. Just a way that they can help others, because the Cool Bean is all about helping others, and that is what is cool, not how you look, not what you wear. Helping others is cool. So they will be writing and drawing about that tomorrow. For kindergarten today, we did do the letter P again, and I've been trying to incorporate as many game type things into that literacy alphabet time as I can. So today I brought up this I Spy game from Move Mountains in kindergarten. Kayla, I love her. I basically put this under my document camera and held it up, and we practiced finding pictures that started with the P sound, like pot, pear, pirate. And then once they understood it, I gave them all some mini erasers. Right here, these are the containers from Michael's, and I keep them by my whole group area, and I use them for different things. Most of the time it's math manipulatives, but today it was covering pictures, so they're all just Target Dollar Spot erasers that I've collected. I basically just printed Kayla's boards, but I printed them super small and gave them a little one to do with a partner. So they took turns playing I Spy and covering it, and they really liked that. So then I showed them that in their centers, they'll have some of the letters that we've already worked on. So we have P, S, T, A, I, and F. We worked on 1 or 2 more letters in this, but I didn't want to put too many in here at a time. And then there's a couple mini eraser containers for them, and they did do this during word work today. They liked it, so that is good. I also saw them doing this one today, which once again, I try not to put too much in their like puzzles or activities to start off with, because I don't want to overwhelm them. So I put these little matching pieces in here, and I only did the letters that we've done so far. So P, is that backwards too? D, P, N, T, A. Didn't want to give them too many, and I also wanted them to know what the letter was. So those are an option for them in word work. They were also practicing the alphabet cards today, and I think I even saw some of them writing. So yeah, I think kinders are having a good time in word work. For first grade today, for writing, I've been having them use the writing word wall. This again is from Kayla, my friend, and we were doing September words. So they already wrote a sentence or two about September. So my example was, in the fall I like to carve pumpkins. And then here's another one they did. In the fall I like to go to my grandparents. In the fall I like to play on the hay bale, the hay. The lesson today focused around drawing and labeling. So we talked about things that we would include in our picture. So if I'm writing about carving pumpkins, should I draw a squirrel? Should I draw a scarecrow? No, I should draw me in my picture carving pumpkins. I haven't done a people drawing lesson with them yet. That's something that I want to do, but I also just wanted to get basically beginning of the year writing samples from like this friend, their picture, stick figure. At least there's a background. That's pretty good. We also talked about labels today. Normally you'd split up a writing lesson like this over the course of the week. So you'd plan, you'd talk about maybe the sentence or story you wanted to write, your picture, you'd go through and you add the labels and add extra details. But today we just talked about what would be in our picture and then the labels. So their task today was to try to label their pictures. And I personally love seeing their writing and drawing at the beginning of the year because I obviously save it, and I love comparing it to the end because that's something I usually see a lot of growth in, especially in first grade. It's just really exciting to see that. And then I also did some math assessments today. So for first grade, they did their unit test, and I printed two different versions. So a version that's basically on grade level, and then a version that's a little bit higher, so an easier one and a harder one for my students, just so I could assess them appropriately. And I'm pretty impressed with most of it, and what I'm going to do now is go through and see if there are any groups that I can make based on these assessments. So like two of my students weren't sure about the true and false, like they missed that question, so they had to determine if a number sentence was true or false. So I'm gonna pull a small group on that, and then one of mine just needs help basic addition, so I could even pull this one really quickly by himself. But for the most part they got it. They're ready to move on to subtraction, so that is really nice. This was also their first math test they've ever taken, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to these, but I am going to put them in their Class Dojo portfolios. That way their parents can see how they did, and they can talk to them or work on something at home if they'd like, but I do like to hold on to them. And then for kindergarten, all I had them do was I printed a 10 frame and had them trace the numbers, but I gave it to them like this. So I had them trace the numbers, and then when they were done tracing the numbers, I asked them if they could fill in the missing numbers. And some of my kids really struggled with this. Some of my kids knew what number was missing, but they didn't necessarily know how to write it, so I would let them flip back and check. But again, this gives you a pretty good idea of how to group your students. So I'm actually a big fan of assessments. I know a lot of teachers hate tests, but for me, I also don't call them tests with my students. Like for my first graders, I said we're doing a math superstar, and that's what I called all of our tests in kindergarten and first grade. Like our spelling test was called a word check. It wasn't called a test. So I don't ever want to give them like any anxiety about tests. I'll usually make like a little list or something and try to group my students based on how they do. Tomorrow is Friday. It's Fun Friday. So I want to do another giant door coloring page, so I'll probably plan that out tonight, and I'll probably find some kind of directed draw for us to tomorrow to put up for our October artwork. This weekend I will probably try to plan our read-alouds for October and get that all planned out. Oh, I guess I can show you what I'm wearing. I think my dress is from Target, and then I'm just wearing Fabletics leggings and then some flats. Also my beautiful pearl necklace that my husband got me, my pearl earrings. had a couple of students write me some letters today, or draw me some pictures. The student wrote me a note that says, "You are adorable." That is the sweetest thing. You are adorable. You were the best teacher I ever had. Being a teacher is the best. For real though, it is time to head home. I need to go home and finish up October wallpapers. So if you are not following me on Instagram, make sure you are following me over on Instagram. I post wallpapers usually every month unless I am just totally stressed beyond belief and do not have time. But Octobers are super cute, so I hope you're following me there. You can find all of my wallpapers in my Instagram highlights. I have like 3 highlights full of wallpapers. I have workout trackers, I have habit trackers, I have calendars, all the fun things over on my Instagram. Good morning, it's Friday. I slept in again this morning. I feel like the cold weather always makes me want to sleep in, but I do need to find my little dry erase dice that I got from Dollar Tree forever ago. I think they're in our like grade level storage closet. I want to play a game with my kinders where they just roll the dice and then they write it. Finishing up our cool bean craft today. We're gonna do some small groups, and honestly that is about it. Oh, also directed drawings, and we have library today, so this day is gonna fly by. I did pick out a couple of directed drawings. I don't really have a specific person I love going to for directed drawings. I like the From the Pond drawings, and I know I was looking last night, Babbling Abby has a lot of drawings. A lot of times I'll just look at something and then make it a directed drawing with my kids. So I was looking at, I don't know, OutSchool. I just screenshotted it from Pinterest, and I love that this one has 2 little owls. Or maybe I could do pumpkins with Kinder. I think I'll do pumpkins with Kinder, and then I can just do like a cuter owl for first grade, if you can see, so I'll make it a little bit more complicated, but I like the idea. I usually just kind of figure it out in the moment. I did find some other cute little watercolor things that I want to do later this month. So this one is From the Pond. I just tried to tap here to focus it. This one is From the Pond, and it's a super simple monster drawing, and I think you could also do one of these, like give your monster this many eyes if you have this many brothers or sisters, or give your monster this many teeth, like that kind of thing. Or just do, or incorporate like shapes somehow, you know how people do with the pumpkins. I don't know, just a couple of different ideas. I'm not gonna bring out the watercolor today. It's the end of the day, it's Friday, that's good news. Today, it was a really calm day, actually, to start off with. I was pretty surprised, especially for it being a Friday. But then we went to library and things kind of went downhill from there. But let's talk about what we did. So they got to do their new directed drawing. A lot of my first graders did not finish it. I think they just get tired doing so much in a small period of time. First grade, we did these little owls. You can see that this person did not want to color their sky. This one did a pretty good job. Owls with the night sky. This one needs to trace their eyes, but I can't get over it. They are adorable. And then kindergartners did little pumpkins. Got this pumpkin. We've got this little pumpkin. It's supposed to be like pumpkins on a vine, but you can't really see. And then this friend got really excited, and she put hearts all over her pumpkin picture. Because she really loves pumpkins. My brain is bothered by it. One pumpkin with a ton of hearts all over it, but at the same time, I love it. So another cute little pumpkin. Okay, we did our cool bean crafts. This is how these turned out. Kindergartners just drew how they would help someone. First graders wrote. And then I was really excited because on my lunch break, I got on Instagram and I saw that Novel Effect posted that they just added 6 new October read-alouds. So let me show you the one we did today. We read this one, The Good, the Bad, and the Spooky. And thank you again, Sydney, for sending this to us. But we did this one with the sound effects. And then the book came with little stickers. And so I thought this would be a great opportunity to introduce the class to a sticker story and go over the procedures for that so it can be part of our writing center. And of course I modeled it, but their stories were so elaborate. I was really surprised. So I'll show you some of them. The stickers on this one are here and here and in here. And this one was really cool because the book came with extra faces to like put on top of the people, and they used the faces to draw these little people in the window of their haunted house and like a little pumpkin patch. This one had a very elaborate story to go with it. Here's the princess, and then there's like all these things that happened to her. I cannot retell her story because it was so elaborate. But like this one was going through a maze, but then there were like spiders in the maze, all sorts of fun stories. And because these were Halloween stickers, a lot of them were telling actually like scary, spooky stories, and I was like, wow, you have a vivid imagination. Her story was so funny. She has all these little characters here, and I don't remember what they're doing, but then these people here, she was saying this one, you see that circle, this one was gonna be having a baby, and then they had to go to the backpack, and then they had to go down here and get the candy. But honestly, I was just really impressed that even my kindergartners could tell me. They were telling me like a 2-minute long story with their stickers, and I was like, perfect, this is great. And then I gave them the option, if they were done with their sticker story, to color just a little coloring page, because Primary Scouts, who I do the retelling crafts from, she has a kit for this book, so I just printed this off really quickly, and I'll probably print off the pictures so they can do it in book club, but we didn't do like the retelling craft. Also, hold on, just looking at my little Hoya plant on my desk makes me so happy. It's just a little heart leaf. Oh, love it. I'm gonna close up the vlog. The kids left about an hour ago, and I really need to go home too. So I hope you guys had a good weekend. You're probably watching this on Saturday or Sunday, depending on how quickly I edit it. Make sure you like this video. If you liked hanging out with me, leave me a comment down below. A lot of you guys will message me on Instagram about something I say in the video, but then I end up having to answer a bunch of DMs instead of just putting it in the comment section. That way everybody can see it. So if you have a question about anything that I talk about in these vlogs, please leave it below so that other people can get answers too. If you have ideas for me based on anything that you see me doing, please, please, please let me know. Teaching a kindergarten and first grade class has a lot of benefits because I get to do a lot of really fun things, but I am totally open to all of your awesome, fun ideas. So share those with me in the comments. Make sure you like this video if you had fun hanging out with me. Subscribe to join our family if you're not already, and I will see you in the next one.